All right, the next loan, to me, is perhaps the dumbest loan there is. All right? This is called a growing equity mortgage. Or you'll hear it called a GEM, G-E-M, growing equity mortgage. In a growing equity mortgage, it is a scheduled increase in the monthly payments. All right? We call this a doctor's loan. There are companies out there that call this a doctor's loan. Here's the theory behind it. You start out and your monthly payment may be $750, and it may be $750 for 6 months. Then the second 6 months it goes to $775. Then the third 6 months it goes to $800. Then it goes to $840, $880, and the idea is every month or every 6 months it increases its monthly payment. Why would that be important? What happens if I increase the amount of money I pay each month? You pay it off faster, which means what? As far as interest rates go, you're paying less interest. So the question I want to ask you guys today, what is the right answer? 30 years and pay back 100 grand? Or a 15-year mortgage and you pay less than 100 grand? What's the right answer? The answer is yes. They're both right. It just depends on who the person is. If a person says, oh, I want to have a bunch of toys and go on vacation and stuff like that, I want my monthly payment to be lower, I may take a 30-year mortgage. What happens if I can take the 30-year mortgage and make it a 40-year mortgage? What happens to my payment? It goes down even further. Japan has what they call a generational loan because it's so expensive. It's a 60-year mortgage. Father takes it out, son pays it off. It's a 60. There are 40-year mortgages here in the U.S. too. There are some people that go, you know, I want to save more money in my elder twilight years, so I'll live frugal here and pay higher house payments and save that $100,000 in interest for when I retire. Both of them are correct. You will find both people. The only problem I have with this loan is that it's a scheduled increase. Why not just get a 30-year mortgage and pay money each time? That way, if you have it, you can pay it. If you don't have it, you can fall back to the level. That's the idea. That's why I'm saying this is the stupid one. Because this forces you to pay harder. A lot of times you will hear this exactly what I called. It's called a doctor's loan. Because doctors come out of school making this, and they know over the span of their life, their income's going to go up rather quickly. They can afford that increase. So a lot of lenders euphemistically will say, yeah, we have a doctor's loan, all right, or a lawyer, or, you know, a professional engineer, I don't know, anything like that where their income could grow drastically over the first couple years. But the reality is, do it like a level payment loan and then add $200, and if you don't have it that month, you're not required to, just fall back, all right? Yeah. There's a new one. It's not new. It's where they pay every other month, every other week. It's biweekly, so you end up paying 13 payments a year instead of 12. That knocks like 8 years off your mortgage. If you pay that 13th one payment a month a year more, because instead of paying every month, you pay every other week, that puts 13 payments in instead of 12. Yeah. That's fine, but Duke Energy says I still got to pay them too. Here's another loan that's pretty cool. It's called a reverse mortgage. A reverse mortgage. Now, let me preface this by saying, there in your book is on 220, is that example of that we did with how much do I pay after that. And there is the factoring chart over the next page you can use. We've talked about a balloon payment. A balloon payment is a one payment lump sum that pays off like an interest only, or if it's partially amortized and you owe 80 grand, you would refinance to pay it off or sell the property. The reverse mortgage, in theory, is an excellent idea. The problem is there have been a lot of people that have bastardized it and cheated elderly people. So don't think a reverse mortgage is bad. It's the people that are selling it to the old people that are bad. In theory, the reverse mortgage is a great idea for anybody that's on a fixed income, because literally what they're doing is selling their equity back to the bank, okay? And that can either take the house payment off completely, remove it, or in some cases actually pay that person a monthly payment, all right? I used to have a real good funny joke about this, reverse, until it actually happened to me, and now it's not so funny. Because in a reverse payment, who are the people that are truly getting hurt? No, not the bank, not the buyer. The who? Not the homeowner. The heirs. The one that's going to inherit that property. If my parents would have died here, I'd have got this much equity in the house. But when my father passed away, my mother did a reverse mortgage, so she's selling some of the equity back. If she lives the full term, now there's only this much equity left. I got cheated out of that much equity. No. But it's not cheated. It's not the right word. Hope my mom doesn't hear that. She'd beat me. So literally, that's what's going on. Now, there's a whole bunch of things that we can talk about, and I'm sure you got questions of. Remember, you're selling the equity back. So this is an asset my parents worked for that they own called equity. My mother should be entitled to it. So literally, instead of mom and dad that were paying $400 a month for their house payment, which, believe it or not, that was their house payment, because they've been living in the same house since '73, all right? Now, they pay mom like $250 a month, and what happens is she went from like 10% loan, and she'll cap out at like an 80% loan. So they never, there's some math in here we're not going to get into. They never sell all of the equity, and they never get kicked out, remember, because it's a lien. It's not ownership. Mom and dad still own the house. They just owe the bank some money. When the mom finally passes, my brother and I will sell the house, pay off the lien, and take what's left.
So if they've already paid off the whole house, then they do a reverse mortgage?
Yeah, if you have 100% equity, you can go get a reverse mortgage. There are ways to use a reverse mortgage as an actual purchase, too, where you can buy a house with a reverse mortgage. You just instantly put the 80% on, and they pay you. All right? That's why I said, in theory, they're a good idea. It's an asset that belongs to my mom that she needed the money on. Since my dad has passed, why shouldn't she get it back without having to sell their house? And it's an FHA loan. It's FHA protected, so that means there's all kinds of, if mom were to live that long, see, there's like, you got to be over 62 or 65 or one of them. At that age, I tell them not to even buy green bananas. Yeah. All right. I want to go back and redraw something on the board. For those of you at home, go back in your notes and look. Remember we did the here you are, here the bank is. Back to the two-party system, they give you money. You give them an IOU and a mortgage. So I'm just redrawing what we had the other day. We had the three-party system. Here you are, here the bank is. They give you money. You give them an IOU. You got a third-party deed of trust. Third party. Now we're back to where we started. And what we're going to do is change audio files real quick for this whole new section.